Ruby Storm has received some massive upgrades from Modern Horizons 3, primarily its namesake, Ruby Medallion, but also Rail Monsoon Mage. Let's go check it out. This is Modern Ruby Storm, now featuring its namesake Ruby Medallion, originally printed in Tempest, but then reprinted in Modern Horizons 3, which means that it's now legal in Modern, which is super exciting for the Red Storm combo decks, because that means that your cards like Desperate Ritual or Pyretic Ritual now read like just Red Dark Ritual, which is super powerful, and I'm excited for that. So the idea with this deck list is that we have Dragon's Rage Channeler, which adds Surveil to all of your instants and sorceries, well, non-creature spells, technically. And then from there, you play Underworld Breach, a card banned in Legacy. That's how good this card is. So we cast a whole bunch of spells, we Surveil a lot, and then eventually you want to play Grapeshot. Okay. Well, we also have Rail Monsoon Mage, which is like the new Brawl Chief of Compliance, except it's red. So instants and sorceries cost one less. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Rail deals 1 damage to you. But if you win the flip, you transform Rail. It has 2 loyalty counters, and then gains a loyalty counter for each instant or sorcery spell played before it flipped. Okay, so that means that you could have a souped up Rail from the beginning. Well, then you have a couple more abilities. So the +1 is that your instants and sorceries continue to be -1 mana. You can -2 and deal 2 damage however you would like, and then if you control a blue permanent that isn't Rail, you draw a card. But your -8 is you exile the top 8 cards of your deck, you can play them for free. Okay, so your idea here is you want to play 8 spells, and then Rail, flip Rail, and then -Rail for 8, and then you can play the top 8 cards of your deck like a souped up, play these cards now, Galvanic Relay, which I think is really powerful. So your cost reducer is now part of your payoff engine, which is really exciting, and I think a major upgrade for this archetype. So that is really what we're doing today. We have Empty the Warrens in the sideboard, Lightning Bolt, Pick Your Poison, Veil of Summer. The green splash is so good, but it also gives you Gigantha, which is more realistic when you have Ruby Medallion. So I think a lot of pieces came together to make this deck list work. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you, but for now, we're going to go hop on into the first round. I will see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicswarm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicswarm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Round number 1, we're on the draw. Both players have revealed a Gigantha the Wellspring. I think that we're going to keep this hand. Let's see what username Chicken Waffles is up to. Mishra's Bauble, okay. Wooded Foothills. Are we playing the Mirror Match? Stomping Ground. Haywire Might. Not the Mirror Match. So they will draw off of Mishra's Bauble. Drawing land number 5 out of her 18 land deck was not what I wanted. We will pass for now. I'd rather hold the Strike It Rich, because I can go get the Commercial District with the Bloodstained Mire and gain a little bit of equity. So we'll take 1 from the Haywire Might. There's a Saga, okay. Amped Raptor. Sure. They reveal a Nethergoyf. Good turn. We will now fetch. Grab that Commercial District. Surveil. I don't think I need another Rail. We'll put Rail to the graveyard. Channeler. Okay. Let's fetch. We'll play the Dragon's Rage Channeler. And then we'll play Striker Rich. Surveil 1. Stomping Ground to the graveyard. Get our treasure token. Pass the turn. Urza Saga goes to the second chapter. Forest. Okay. They swing for 4. I will not block. They have 4 cards remaining in hand here. Ruby Medallion. Okay. Let's play the Medallion. I understand that the Ruby Medallion is likely going to be destroyed by the Haywire Might. Let's surveil another Rail to the graveyard. Okay. But I wanted the surveil equity to help dig for an Underworld Breach. We'll use the treasure token. We'll play Rail. They're going to use the Haywire Might, which was expected. Okay, and now we will Manamorphose. And this triggers the Rail and the Dragon's Rage Channeler. So let's see if Rail flips. We'll choose Tails. I've won the flip. I think I would like to transform. Actually, do I want to? No, I don't know. I'm going to say no. All right, Surveil trigger. We'll put the land. That's a lot of lands. We'll put the land to the graveyard. We'll make red. Another Channeler. Let's strike it rich. Now we get to Surveil and Rail again. We'll choose Tails. We lost the flip. We'll take 1 down to 12. Channeler. Another Striker Rich. We'll put that to the graveyard. We have to go to combat. We'll attack for 3. They take it, going to 16. And then post-combat, we'll play another copy of Dragon's Rage Channeler. Pass the turn. Urza's Saga goes to the 3rd chapter. It'll be interesting to see if they have something like a main deck Nile Spellbomb here. They do not make a construct token. They're just going to search their deck. Shadow Spear. Okay. Another Amped Raptor. They have 1 energy left over from the first time, so they can play a spell that's 3 or less here. Looks like they revealed another Nethergoyf. Okay. Another Urza's Saga, sure. They equipped the Raptor, so now they can attack for 7. Yeah, no blocks. I'll go to 5. We need a good draw step here. Maybe something shaped like an Underworld Breach? I would like that. Okay. Desperate Ritual. That is not going to do it. Let's read the back half of this again. Yet I'm nowhere near being able to play 8 spells. I guess it would be 6 spells, but still. So if I flash back the Striker Rich, let's see what happens. We lost the flip, we go to 4. Surveil. We don't need a Ritual. Don't need a Stomping Ground. And now the Channelers are no longer delirious and I don't have to attack. The problem is I think our opponent still has lethal. Maybe not. I block the 2 Nethergoyfs. Maybe I get through this, but it assumes that our opponent has nothing in hand. I will pass. The Urza's Saga goes up to the 2nd chapter. They play Verdant Catacombs, so now they have access to black mana, something that they've been missing all game. They get a basic Swamp. We're going to move the Shadow Spear. Okay. So I think our first step is I want to hit Delirium, so I'm going to play the Desperate Ritual. Oh, maybe I should have gone to blocks first. Yeah, I might have messed up here. Or is this only on your turn? Yeah, it's only on your turn, so I didn't mess up. Accidentally. So we want to Surveil. Questing Druid to the graveyard. We want to hit a sorcery here. Or a Mishra's Bauble. Bauble will do. Okay, now we'll go to blocks. So throw one of these in front of there. Monsoon Mage in front of a Raptor. Channeler in front of Nethergoyf. This has me taking 4 and still dying. There's no other real way I can block. So yeah, I guess I'm just dead. We went pretty deep into our deck without finding anything of substance. Our top card was a Manamorphose, Pyretic Ritual. Yeah, we didn't have much coming either. Disappointing. Okay, so sideboarding. We likely want Veil of Summer. I'm not sure how I feel about the copies of Empty the Warrens. It's less good when your opponent has Shadow Spear, which is kind of a concern to me, but it is a plan that wins through Graveyard Hate. So I think maybe we want the Empties. We'll board out the Striker Rich and accept that we're playing a slightly longer game. Alright, this next thing is a little bit greedy, but I'm going to board out 2 copies of Mishra's Bauble. I think we want everything else to help our game plan. And Mishra's Bauble is a little bit of a filler card. Alright, begin by revealing Gigantha once again. Okay, so this is the sort of hand where if you hit land 2, it's incredibly good, but if you don't, it's embarrassing. I think we're going to mulligan. This is much better. We will get rid of Questing Druid. Alright, turn 1, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Pass the turn. Urza's Saga. Haywire Might. Yeah. Ruby Medallion. Okay. Let's grab a Stomping Ground. I'm going to challenge them to have a green mana on turn 2. We will surveil off the channeler. The land can go to the graveyard. We will pass. The Urza Saga now goes to the second chapter. Verdant Catacombs. Stomping Ground. Yep. And they use the Haywire Might. Empty the Warrens. So I could go Pyretic Ritual, Rail, Manamorphose. And that gives me a decent number of looks just to hit a land or anything else that makes a mana. Because I get 2 Surveils plus a draw. I think we're supposed to go for it here. Pyretic Ritual, Surveil. And that makes a mana. We'll leave the Stomping Ground on top. Play the Rail, Manamorphose. And now Rail will trigger. I'll choose Tails. I lose the flip. Channeler will leave that land right on top of our deck. We'll make red. Play the Stomping Ground. Ouch. Empty these Warrens. Channeler's ability is another Rail. That can go to the graveyard. Rail triggers. We'll choose Tails again. We have lost the flip. And now empty. Swing for 3. Well, that was not bad. Urza Saga goes to the third chapter. Shadow Spear was selected as the artifact off of Urza Saga. Bloodstained Mire. For a basic swamp. Nethergoyf. And now they can equip it with the Shadow Spear. 5/6 lifelink trample on turn 3. This is modern. Manamorphose. Okay. Let's start with the Manamorphose. Rail. We'll choose Tails again. We've lost the flip. I was told that Tails never fails. Surveil. Underworld Breach is a pretty good card, I heard. We'll keep that one. Red. How about Underworld Breach? Surveil. We don't need a Ruby Medallion. That can go to the graveyard. Manamorphose. Exile some cards. Rail again. Choose Tails. Lost the flip. Surveil. We can put another Ruby Medallion to the graveyard. We'll make red. Veil of Summer. I think I'm going to sit on that one for a... Actually, no. Let's play it. Veil of Summer. This is Storm 4. I'm not even sure if I want to win the Rail flip at the moment. Choose Tails. We've won the flip. I don't think I want to transform. Alright, Surveil trigger. Grapeshot. That's one that I definitely do want. We will Manamorphose. So this is the 4th one. We've lost the flip again. We're going to keep Grapeshot on top. We'll do red. We'll Manamorphose again. And this is one that I would like to flip the Rail on, I believe. Or maybe it's the next one, because Rail would be 7 counter, so I guess we don't want to do it yet. We've won the flip. I'm going to say no again. Surveil. The Seiju can go to the... I guess I could keep it, because it kills the Shadow Spear. Alright, let's keep it. Red. Let's Grapeshot the opponent. And now I would like to flip. Come on, deck. Nope, not allowed. Surveil. The other Underworld Breach can go to the graveyard. And we'll point all of the targets at our opponent. And now we will destroy their Shadow Spear. Grapeshot again. Target them. Okay, well, we won game number 2. I think we just resubmit. I mean, things seem to work pretty well that game. Alright, everyone. Pray to Keranos with me that we will draw land number 2. Come on. We're going to keep this, but we do need that second land. We have a Mishra's Bauble and a Commercial District to help us get there. Turn 1, Blood Crypt. Nethergoyf. Mishra's Bauble. Okay. So our opponent has played a turn 1, 1/2. They will now draw off their Bauble. We drew a Ritual, which is good, but we still need to hit our second land. I'm going to Bauble myself here. I would love to keep the Manamorphose, but we just have to hit our second land here. Commercial District. I might even be able to go off on turn 2. Veil of Summer needs to go to the graveyard. Okay, deck. I need that second land. Another Manamorphose. I mean, if we're lucky enough to hit land 2, I'm going off on turn 2. Ugh, Thoughtseize is brutal here. I believe the correct pick is Underworld Breach. Let's see what the opponent thinks. They take Ruby Medallion. I disagree, but hopefully I draw my second land and punish them. I'd love to showcase a turn 2 win day 1 of this or I guess it's my day one of playing the deck, but you know what I mean. First week of Modern Horizons 3. Come on, deck, pretty please. We're going for it. That's it. We're gonna make it happen. Grab that mountain. Pyretic Ritual. We will play the Rail Monsoon Mage. Desperate Ritual. And we do not want to flip. Tails. We won the flip, we're going to pick no. Manamorphose. This is the third instant or sorcery of the turn. We'll choose Tails again. We've won the flip. We'll choose red-green. Channeler. Oh, we're definitely getting a turn 2 win. It's happening. Manamorphose. The Rail. We'll choose Tails. We've lost the flip. This is the fourth instant or sorcery of the turn. I think I might want this. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Channeler. Alright, red. We'll play the Channeler. And now we play Underworld Breach, which does cost 2. Rail does not reduce the cost of Channeler. Or of Underworld Breach, I'm sorry. Druid to the graveyard. Scalding Tarn to the graveyard. Underworld Breach. Manamorphose. Okay. I don't know what number this one is. So I'm just, even if I win it, I'm not going to flip. We're just always going to surveil at this point. Tails. I won the flip. I'm going to say no. Land to the graveyard. Manamorphose. We'll choose red. Manamorphose again. So this turn I've played Rail, Channeler, Breach. Storm count is 10. So this would flip Rail until the top mode. We'll choose Tails. I lost the flip. We'll put a land to the graveyard. Land to the graveyard. Manamorphose. We'll choose red-green. Another land is the draw. Not ideal. We'll get rid of some lands here and the Veil of Summer. Rail once again. We'll choose Tails. We've lost the flip. Surveil away Stomping Ground. Surveil away Veil of Summer. Manamorphose. We'll choose red. Another Veil of Summer. We'll play it. Surveil 2 plus the Rail trigger. And our opponent just concedes. They're not going to let me transform an ultimate. That is not very nice. But we did get the first match over Jund. I love that. 1-0. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, once again, deck, I am asking you for land number 2. I'm going to keep, actually I'm playing 18 lands today, where if you watch some of my older Underworld Breach videos that are a similar deck, I only ran 16. So hopefully we don't have, mana issues in today's video. But our one land is a commercial district. We do have the Mishra's Bauble. I have faith. Play the commercial district. I guess we're in my upkeep. I'm not allowed to play commercial district. Not yet, at least. Okay, let's get that Surveil trigger on. And there's land number 2, just like we drew it up. I'll play the Bauble, pass the turn. And our opponent's upkeep, let's look at their top card. Narcomoeba. So our opponent's playing Dredge, a deck that recently gained Cephalid Coliseum out of Modern Horizons 3. Turn 1 Stomping Ground. And they didn't have anything after that. We're just going to play our land and play Ruby Medallion. But I'm also interested in seeing what our draw step is, because that was the Mishra's Bauble draw, and we drew another Bauble. Okay. We will lose 2 life here, going to 18. We will play Ruby Medallion, play that Mishra's Bauble, and we'll pass. In their upkeep, target them. No end step effect. Silver Smoke Ghoul. There's the Cephalid Coliseum. Cathartic Reunion, discarding double Stinkweed Imp. Creeping Chill, Prized Amalgam. Yeah, I mean, this looks like a pretty good dredge for them. Alright, so double Creeping Chill, triple Narcomoeba. When the Narcomoeba has entered the battlefield, it will trigger the Prized Amalgam. But also, Silver Smoke Ghoul. They gain 3 life this turn off of the Creeping Chills, which means that this will enter as well on the end step. Very good turn for them. So now they're passing to their second main phase, and now the end step. Amalgam triggers 3 times, but honestly, there's only the one, so it's not that bad. And then they get the Silver Smoke School. We're at 12 life. They have 9 power on the table. This is probably a turn we want to do something. We'll draw off the bauble. It's a Ruby Medallion. The second one doesn't really help us. And Arid Mesa. So let's read the back of Rail. So Rail on the back doesn't care for how many instants or sorceries you played before the front half entered. So we're going to try to save some life here. We're going to play Pyretic Ritual and Manamorphose before we Rail. We'll grab a basic mountain. Pyretic Ritual. Manamorphose. Let's do red-green. Unfortunately, we drew a Bloodstained Mire. This is not looking good for the home team. We will Seek the Beast. Manamorphose and Questing Druid. We will... Oh, no, it's Bauble Manamorphose. I'm sorry. The Questing Druid is the one that's on an adventure right now. I don't know if that's a card we're interested in playing out. It might be. I don't know. 2 mana for a Questing Druid probably isn't worth it. I have a feeling we're going to fizzle, so let's actually play out the Questing Druid. Maybe I'll get a good chump block on. Let's play the Rail, and we'll Manamorphose. We will call tails, and we've won the flip. So part of my question here is, should I try to flip the Rail immediately, and then just like use the -2 ability to clear some of these creatures? So I could kill the Ghoul and a Narcomoeba, but if they have a blue land, I guess they don't have any Dredgers in their graveyard right now. My storm count is 6, but I've only played 3 instants and sorceries this turn. Yeah, I think I'm going to flip the Rail. Manamorphose, we'll say red-red. Another Mishra's Bauble. Okay. We're going to minus the Rail. We'll hit the Ghoul and a Narcomoeba. Pass the turn. In their upkeep, I will use a Mishra's Bauble. Tome Scour. Okay. They don't have a Dredger, so they couldn't dredge. Oh, I'm sorry, they had Life from the Loam. I was only looking at creatures. My apologies. They're going to cast Life from the Loam. They're going to attack for 2 at the Rail. I think that's fine. On the end step, we will Bauble them. Tome Scour. And now on our turn, we will draw 3 cards. 2 off of Mishra's Bauble, and then 1 for the draw step. They discard a pair of Stinkweed Imp. We draw another Rail, and another land. And another land. That's devastating here. We will kill the Narcomoebas. Okay. I guess I can fetch. We'll grab a basic mountain. And then I will put Jegantha to my hand. Play the Rail Monsoon Mage. Our Questing Druid gets a little bit bigger, but it's on defense right now, so I'm just going to pass the turn. They hit another Creeping Chill. So now on the end step, the Silver Smoke Ghoul will come back, and then that will trigger the Prized Amalgam for the next end step, which would be my end step. But here we're seeing some Cephalid Coliseum action. Wonder, they've already played a land. They hit the 4th copy of Creeping Chill. I'm at 4. Things are not looking good. Okay, they have 1 Prized Amalgam that will come back. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Am I just dead here? We'll play the Jegantha, and then we'll play Dragon's Rage Channeler. Play Stomping Ground. So they have 1 Prized Amalgam that's coming back. So I guess I'm not dead. Oh no, they have 2. I missed 1. So I am dead on board. Okay, we can go to the next game then. I just needed to draw spells, but that didn't really happen that game. Okay, so we're facing Dredge. I don't even think I want to sideboard. I just want to resubmit, I think. Like, you could board in Blood Moon to shut off Cephalid Coliseum, but they have a bunch of red cards in their deck anyway. I'm not even sure how good that really is. Like, you could board an Empty as a hedge in case they have Leyline of the Void, and I think that's acceptable. We'll board out, like, 2 Baubles and a Striker Rich, maybe. Once again, we're on the play. Because we lost game number 1, we will start off by revealing the Jegantha. We have the Commercial District again, which is a little bit awkward because theoretically I could have played a turn 2 Rail Monsoon Mage, but I do think that this hand is a keep. Our opponent has taken a mulligan. And like, I do think you want Commercial District in your deck. In this spot, I would have preferred a fetch land. That's all. Gemstone Caverns on a mulligan to 5. So they're starting this game off with not a whole lot of cards in hand. They exile a Narc Amoeba. We will play Commercial District, Surveil. That is not a land. Yeah, I'm just going to put it to the graveyard. There's some argument for keeping it and just accepting a turn 2 Strike It Rich, and then on turn 3 you go like Ritual Ral, Ritual Manamorphose, but I'd rather just try to draw the land. Cephalic Coliseum. If their last 3 in hand are like Dredger, Cathartic Reunion, it wasn't, but still pretty good. They had a Narc Amoeba and a Life from the Loam. They choose to leave the Narc Amoeba in the graveyard. We did not hit the land we wanted. We'll play Striker Rich. Pass. So now they can dredge Life from the Loam. They had a Golgari Thug. So if they activate the Cephalic Coliseum, we have to hope that they don't hit another Dredger off of the Golgari Thug. They had another Life from the Loam. Okay, so no Stinkweed Imp. They did hit a Creeping Chill, which will bring back the Silver Smoke Ghoul, and then that triggers the Prized Amalgams. Blood Crypt tapped in their passing. Okay. And now we draw the land. Sheesh. Okay, so let's start off by fetching. Grab the mountain. We'll play Ral. Desperate Ritual. We'll choose Tails. We won the flip, but I don't want to transform. Okay, we'll play Strike It Rich. Tails. We've won the flip. So that's 2 this turn. Let's Questing Druid, and by that I mean Seek the Beast. We'll choose Tails. We've won the flip. Still no. That's 3. Pyretic Ritual, that will be 4. We'll choose Tails again. We've won the flip. Okay. Manamorphose is 5. Tails. We've lost a flip. We'll choose green here. Underworld Breach. Okay. I think we're going to play this Ruby Medallion now. Play the Underworld Breach. Manamorphose. I've lost count for the Ral, but I'm going to wait. We'll choose Tails. We lost anyway. Let's choose red-green. The Sage Who Endures. I've already played my land. Manamorphose again. So ideally we'd win this flip. Choose Tails. I have lost the flip. Manamorphose. We'll choose green. Well, actually, no, I can still Seek the Beast from hand. We'll choose green-red. Another Ral. Seek the Beast. Tails. We've won the flip. Yes, I would like to flip Ral. Okay. We will play the other Ral, because I can. Minus the ultimate ability on Ral. Sweet. We will play a Pyretic Ritual. Choose Tails. We've won. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I guess we will... Oh, this is insane! Oh my! Oh my, this is nuts! I didn't realize it worked like this. Holy moly! You just get to keep on flipping them. That is absolutely insane. Wow. That's messed up. It should not work like that. Wow. Okay. Yeah. We'll take it. Game number 3 coming up. I am in awe right now. That is absolutely nuts. Let's resubmit. Game number 3. Our opponent's taken a mulligan. We will keep. They've mulliganed again down to 5. Now down to 4. Now down to 3. I'm not really sure what they're looking for here, but 3 cards is not a lot. Arid Mesa. Ritual. We'll play the Bauble. And do it in our main phase. So you might be wondering, why would I want to do this on my main phase? Well, if I want the card, I don't want to shuffle it away. So this way, I can now draw the top card, which in this case is an Empty the Warrens. And then their end step, I can go get that Commercial District and then sculpt the top card of my deck again. Stomping Ground. They have 2 cards in hand now. On the end step, we'll fetch. Grab that Commercial District. The card we want here is another Ritual. Alright, goodbye Arid Mesa. Grapeshot. So I think I'm going to play it safe here. We saw Nature's Claim out of them, so I think... You know what, if you mold the 3 and kept Nature's Claim, sure, you got it. Ruby Medallion, pass the turn. So you might be wondering, why don't I Pyretic Ritual? And they did mulligan to 3 for Nature's Claim, holy moly. But you might be wondering, why don't you Pyretic Ritual, Ruby Medallion, Manamorphose, and try to empty the warrants? It's just not worth the risk. Like, our opponent mulliganed to 3, they're not doing a whole lot. Let's just play it safe and, you know, not lose the game when we don't need to. So we will fetch, grab a mountain. Let's play Rail Monsoon Mage. Pyretic Ritual. Triggers the Rail. Choose Tails. I've lost the flip. Manamorphose. Choose Tails again. I've lost the flip. We'll make red, green. Strike it rich. That will trigger the Rail. Let's choose Tails. We've lost the flip. Grapeshot them for 5. Choose Tails. I've lost the flip. And now we will empty the warrens for 12 goblins. Rail will trigger again. Tails. I've lost the flip. Okay. Pass the turn. We have lethal on board. They fetch with an Arid Mesa. For a Steam Vents. Cathartic Reunion, discarding Golgari Thug. They hit a Creeping Chill, so they're going to get another turn. Most likely. Depends on my draw set, but most likely. And that will return the Silver Smoke Ghoul. Alright, so they're at 15, so I can put them to 2 here. Another Rail. Swing, swing. We'll play a new Rail as a blocker. Play the Stomping Ground. Pass the turn. Upkeep the Otherworldly Gaze. They trigger a Narcomoeba. Okay, well, we've won the match. We're now 2-0 with Modern Ruby Storm. 3 matches left to go. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. We've won the die roll, and it's match number 3. We've opened up a hand that's all mana, no payoffs. I don't think you're supposed to keep this. Okay, well, this hand is a land away. Against better judgment, I'm going to try it. We'll put the second copy of Underworld Breach on the bottom. Basic Mountain, pass the turn. Forest. Nettle Sentinel, so we're facing Elves. Land, please. Strike it rich is acceptable, but I would have preferred a land. The Nettle Sentinel will attack us for 2. We go to 18. They play a land. Llanowar Elf to untap the Nettle Sentinel. Elvish Mystic. Okay. Grapeshot. Okay, so I can take some actions this turn. We'll start off with a Desperate Ritual. We'll play the Rail. Manamorphose. Rail triggers, we'll choose Tails. We've lost the flip. Now we'll make red, red. Another Rail. I am going to Seek the Beast, trying to hit a land here. We'll choose Tails. I've won the flip. Yes, I would like to transform Rail. Seek the Beast. We did hit a land. Okay, so we'll play the Stomping Ground. Yes. Play the Dragon's Rage Channeler. And now we're going to plus Rail. And then from there, we will Grapeshot. And I get a Surveil off of the Dragon's Rage Channeler as well. But first, let's kill some Elves. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 5th and 6th one will go back at them. Get out of here. And now we get that nice Surveil trigger off of the Channeler. Let's slide this over here, though. I don't think I want to land next turn. We'll put that to the graveyard. And then the Grapeshot. We will pass. Sweet. Opponent concedes. Elves, huh? We probably want Lightning Bolt. We'll shave a couple copies of Strike It Rich. And maybe like 1 Mishra's Bauble. Our opponent is taking a mulligan. I believe we're going to keep this. They play Basic Forest into Heritage Druid. We draw the fetch land we wanted. Alright, I'm going to start off with a Mishra's Bauble. Lightning Bolt. I think that's a card I would like. We will draw the Lightning Bolt. They play land number 2. And they're just going to attack. Interesting. I'll grab Commercial District then. Get some Surveil action on. Trigger. Land 3 can go to the graveyard. We draw a Ruby Medallion. That is a decent one. We'll play it. Pass the turn. They play Windswept Heath. 4 cards remain in hand. They did not play any creatures last turn. Made my play of tapping out for the Ruby Medallion feel a little bit better, but let's see. Eladamri. So they can play creatures from the top of their deck. That seems like a pretty good Lightning Bolt target. Grapeshot. Alright, we're going to start by playing Seek the Beast. We hit another Ruby Medallion in a land. Okay. There's no reason to ever really play another Ruby Medallion. I mean, you can. It's just like, I don't think it actually reduces a single card in our deck. Yeah, it doesn't. So, let's grab Basic Mountain. Play Desperate Ritual. From there, we can play the Questing Druid. Play Strike It Rich. This will make our Druid a little bit bigger. We'll then Manamorphose. We'll make red. Another Grapeshot. Oh, poor opponent. Manamorphose. We'll do red. Channeler. I believe we might have lethal. So if I Lightning Bolt them, they go to 16. Yeah, they're just dead. Lightning Bolt you. Get our Surveil action on. Put the other Lightning Bolt to the graveyard. Grapeshot you. And our opponent just immediately concedes the match. Love that. Alright, we're now 3 now. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round number 4, we're on the draw. Our hand doesn't really have a payoff, but I'm choosing to keep it. I don't know what our opponent's playing. Here we at least looks like they're playing Amulet Titan with a Waterlog Grove. Is that what this is? But I liked the ability of... Okay, it's not Amulet Titan. I'm not really sure what this is. But the ability to cantrip with the Manamorphose was interesting to me. We have Wooded Foothills for the Commercial District, so we can actually see some cards. There's always the backup plan of using the Gigantha as well. And after accelerating in a land on turn 1, they do not play a land on turn 2. We will grab Commercial District. Surveil 1. I would gladly keep a rail. We'll play the Scalding Tarn, pass the turn. So you could play out the rail here. Our opponent has 2 open mana. It just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. I'd rather save that for a later turn. Because it doesn't seem like mana is our choke point. An untapped Breeding Pool. Quora Calling for 0. So this can go get a Dryad Arbor. Should I know what our opponent's up to? Because I don't. Nadu. Okay. I guess that makes sense now. Nadu's broken. We'll grab a Stomping Ground. It's likely time to move here. Ruby Medallion. We'll play the Ruby Medallion. Desperate Ritual. Manamorphose. We'll do red-green. Grapeshot seems pretty good here. I guess if I Grapeshot their creatures, they're going to be able to trigger their Nadu a bunch. That's actually not great. Yeah. We will Manamorphose again. Red. Channeler. We'll play the Dragon's Reach Channeler. We'll play the Rail. Desperate Ritual. So we'll try to flip Rail here. We'll choose Tails. We've won the flip. We will flip the Rail. Now we'll Surveil. Put the Ruby Medallion to the graveyard. So now it's the tough part. Do I just let them draw 2? Alright, I'll target them with the first Grapeshot. Let's see what our top card is for the Dragon's Reach Channeler. Strike It Rich. Put that to the graveyard. I think I'm supposed to kill the Nadu. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you might be wondering if I should kill their creatures. It will trigger their creatures too, so you don't want to target those. But our opponent does get 2 Nadu triggers here, and they reveal Shuko. So it looks like I made the right call on killing the Nadu. And then they revealed the landfall creature. So we were definitely toast if I didn't kill Nadu here. And then let's flash back the Strike It Rich. Get the Surveil off of the Dragon's Reach Channeler. Put Pyretic Ritual to the graveyard. So now we have an interesting question of like, do you plus the Rail, hoping to get up to 8, or do you just kill the Dryad Arbor to slow them down? And I think you're probably supposed to kill the Dryad Arbor. And then I'll use the treasure token and we'll put Jegantha to our hand. Okay, pass the turn. They play Shuko. Another Arboreal Grazer. No land. Okay. We draw another Rail. Let's attack with our Dragon's Reach Channeler. They have 2 blockers. We will plus on our Rail. Play Jegantha. Big Jegs has entered the battlefield. Okay. The fear here is if they go land, Nadu number 2, and then draw 6 cards using Shuko. Cavern of Souls. Okay, so a second Nadu here is terrifying. Summoner's Pact. Okay, that does get the Nadu. They're going to go to 4 life by using the Waterlogged Grove. So now they can equip Shuko to their creatures each twice, and it will trigger the Nadu for each creature this way. The One Ring, that's terrifying. Another copy of the One Ring. Misty Rainforest. So now they're 2 mana off from using the One Ring. They Shuko again. They hit another land. If they hit another land, they can One Ring. I don't like that. They hit the land. Oh, it's brutal. Okay. They're going to fetch down to 3 life. And they play the One Ring, so now they have protection from everything. Things are not looking good for the home team here. No main deck Lightning Bolt either. Strike it rich. So I can minus the Rail, but it doesn't do any good. I guess if they block my Channeler, I could kill the Nadu, but I don't see that happening. We'll play Strike it rich. Surveil. Ruby Medallion to the graveyard. We will Surveil again. Strike it rich to the graveyard. Attack with Channeler. See if they try to block. They do. I wonder if that means they have a way to get another Nadu. So we'll attempt to kill Nadu here. They'll get 1 trigger. And then we will play Rail. And I could use the Jegantha, but I'd rather use the Jegantha to protect our Rail. Let's flashback Striker Rich and try to flip this Rail. Choose Tails. We have lost the flip. Oh, I messed up. I didn't need to use 2 treasures. Whoops. Not the end of the world. I don't think I'm going to lose this game because of 1 treasure token, but I would have liked to flip the Rail there. Okay, so now our opponent needs to pay for Summoner's Pact. The One Ring will bring them down to 2 life. They have a Waterlogged Grove, so if they decide to play another copy of the One Ring, they'll go down to 1 life. Another copy of Summoner's Pact for another Nadu. So they're going to go to 1 life here. Sure. So they need to hit 4 more lands and then play another copy of the One Ring. Colony Garden. That land enters tapped. However, it does create a creature. So that's 2 more opportunities to find more lands. Another Colony Garden. Summoner's Pact. Another Colony Garden. Once again, just more opportunities to hit more lands. The 4th Colony Garden, is that what I just saw? No, it was a Court of Calling. My bad. So now they can Court of Calling. Did I just lose? So now they go get the creature that whenever a land enters, that creates a 1/1. Maybe I just lost. It was looking like we had a shot, but now I'm not so sure. I think we might just be dead. Yeah, I mean, they have Thassa's Oracle. Looks like they're going to be able to draw their deck. We were pretty close, but the One Rings bought them enough time, or the 1 copy of the One Ring, really. They can't use the Misty Rainforest because they're at 1. Otawara will do it. Bummer. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to concede, but they're just going to keep on doing this until they've drawn their whole deck and played Thassa's Oracle. We were close, but we just didn't quite get there. We definitely want Pick Your Poison and Blood Moon. I think we're supposed to take out Mishra's Bauble. I think the Lightning Bolts are actually a trap, and I don't want them. So I brought out 1 copy of Striker Rich. Let's try that again. Game number 2, we're on the play. Reveal our Jegantha the Wellspring. Sure. Keep. I mean, I need to hit that 2nd land, but if we do, we're in great shape. Turn 1 Bloodstained Mire. We'll fetch, and I want to grab a Stomping Ground here. Ouch. Down to 17. We'll play the Dragon's Reach Channeler. And by grabbing Stomping Ground, I can turn 2 play Pick Your Poison depending on what our opponent's turn 1 play is. And maybe that will help me find land number 2 if I don't draw it naturally. Breeding Pool. into a Boreal Grazer. Yep. There's a Saga, so I could pick your poison to make them sacrifice the Saga if I don't draw a land. I did not draw a land, and I drew another pick your poison. So we will cast this, select each player sacrifices an enchantment. And now we get to Surveil, Ritual to the graveyard. Pass the turn. They play a Crumbling Vestige, so this enters the battlefield, taps, and makes a mana of any color. They bestow onto their Boreal Grazer. Okay. We ripped the land. Grab a mountain. Pyretic Ritual. We will Surveil again. I think I want to get rid of land 3. Blood Moon. Keep the Ruby Medallion. Pass the turn. So they'll get to make a 1/1 green insect here. I might want to pick your poison next turn to get rid of this. You know what? I'm not going to. I'm going to play Ruby Medallion, because if I wait a turn, I can make green off of the Manamorphose, and I think that might actually be better. We'll Surveil away the Ruby Medallion. My creature is now delirious. I am forced to attack. I guess I could have played it second main phase to avoid this. And Endurance. Brutal. Yeah, the ultimate punish here. Okay. I mean, I deserve this. Oh, and they have Court of Calling for 3 as their final card in hand for the Nadu! That is so insane. Wow. Okay. They attack for 5. I'll go to 11. Underworld Breach. Let's start off by making 2 green mana with Manamorphose. Green. Another Underworld Breach. We'll cast Pick Your Poison. We'll make them sacrifice a creature with flying, which will be the Nadu. We will Seek the Beast. We hit Manamorphose. We'll play it. We'll do red-green. So this one's on an adventure. This one is not. I think I want to Seek the Beast again, because if I hit a land, it's best case scenario. I did not hit a land. Okay, then. I have to pass. So we'll take 2 here. 3rd Underworld Breach. Might as well. We'll play an Underworld Breach. Manamorphose. Exile some cards. We'll make red-green. Another Questing Druid. We'll play a Questing Druid from exile. Pass the turn. I'm at 9. Like, we're not in control of this game right now. Okay. They have another 1/1. They attack for 2. We'll go to 7. Commercial District is a land. But I want to Seek the Beast here, because I could always play a land off of the one from exile. So our creature will now be a 2/2 and capable of blocking 1/1s. We did hit a land. Okay, so I can Desperate Ritual and grow my creature. Play Ruby Medallion. So an interesting thing here is I think I'm actually supposed to play out Underworld Breach just to grow my Questing Druid, and then have it die at the end of the turn, which seems crazy. But hear me out. By allowing it to just pass the turn, next turn I can Underworld Breach again, make green ring off of Manamorphose, and then play both of these. And now I believe our opponent's on defense. We drew the 4th Underworld Breach. Holy moly. Okay. We will play Underworld Breach. Manamorphose. Exile these. Green mana and green mana. We drew a Channeler. We're going to wait a turn to play that. This turn, we're playing Druids. I am the beatdown. Leaving my creature on defense this turn. Maybe next turn we can reconsider. But for now, we just want to make sure we don't lose. And like trading our 6/6 for a 1/1 isn't what we want to do. Are you thinking about attacking me here? Do it. Come on. We'll play Dragon's Rage Channeler. All of our creatures get a little bit bigger. So if I go Underworld Breach Surveil, I can't play anything from the graveyard. So I believe I'm supposed to just pass here. Or I guess I could attack for 7. Let's attack for 7. I don't believe I want to play the Rail, so I'm going to pass. Because I don't want to possibly kill myself with the Rail, and that is a drawback of this card. It is not quite Brawl Chief of Compliance. It does come with a clause that could accidentally kill you. The One Ring. Yep. To draw a card. Strike it rich. We are going to just pass here. There's no need to do anything. We can just pass the turn, try to win next turn when they don't have the One Ring protection. The One Ring will now lose them a life, so they're at 10. They'll draw 2 cards. 7 cards in hand. They play another land. Shuko. Okay. I guess if they have Court of Calling, I'm dead. It doesn't look like they have Court of Calling. Another Rail. Let's start off by casting Striker Rich. We will put the land to the graveyard. I guess Striker Rich is the only reason you would ever want double Ruby Medallion. We will Surveil again. And grow our questing druids. Striker Rich can go to the graveyard. Let's play the Rail. Let's attempt to flashback Striker Rich, or you know what I mean. I guess I am successfully flashing it back. Alright, so Rail triggers. We'll choose Tails. We've won the flip. Yes, I would like to transform. Put the Wooded Foothills to the graveyard. Create another treasure. Let's -2 and kill a few plants. We'll play Rail. And now Underworld Breach. I get a Surveil off of the Channeler. Put the Rail to the graveyard. They have another Endurance. Exile Sylvan Safekeeper. Okay. So now we go to combat. They have to block at least 2 creatures or else they're dead. Okay, they're going to block with all. We'll pass the turn. The One Ring will bring them to 8 life. They draw 3 cards with the One Ring, back up to 7 cards in hand. Summoner's Pact. I don't like that. Why would you do that? Come on. Reveals Endurance. Okay. That's them just conceding the game. I appreciate that. Okay, so now we have to find... Something that I was thinking about that game is, if they're going to have all these endurances, do I still want to be on Underworld Breach? Like, should I be trying to switch to like an Empty the Warrens game plan? Even though passing the turn in this matchup's super bad. Just a thought. Like, we could just make the graveyard hate not matter by switching into like an empty deck. Like, I could board in Lightning Bolt, I'm just not in love with the idea. And if I'm on the empty deck, do we still want channelers? Which is another question. So maybe we board out the channelers, we'll bring in the bolts, bring in the Striker Rich, and I'm just 1 card short. Which can be like a bobble. I know that this seems crazy, but it's what I'm going to try here. Game 3 on the draw versus Nadu. Reveal our Jegantha. We have 6 minutes on clock. We cannot afford to keep this hand, we're going to send it back. Mulligan. Keep. Get rid of Ruby Medallion. They play Misty Rainforest. For a basic forest, deleted halfling. That is going to eat a lightning bolt. We draw the Druid, that's not bad. Grab a basic. Bolt the bird. Pass the turn. Colony Garden. Sylvan Safekeeper. Sure. Wooded Foothills will pass. Breeding Pool. They have 4 cards remaining in hand. It's a Nadu. Pick Your Poison does get around Nadu here. And by that I mean I can just make them sacrifice a creature with flying. We will fetch. Grab a Stomping Ground. Ouch. End step, we will Seek the Beast. We reveal the Pick Your Poison. Okay. Ritual. Let's play Manamorphose. Actually, hold on. I can Ritual. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to Ritual Manamorphose Questing Druid. Pick Your Poison. Alright, Manamorphose. We'll do green, Ruby Medallion. We'll play the Questing Druid using a red. We'll play Pick Your Poison. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. And then F6. I have 5 minutes on the clock. I need to speed up my play a little here. They have 3 cards remaining in hand. They're up about 2 minutes on clock, roughly. Nadu goes to the graveyard. Pick Your Poison has looked very good this match. Alright, well my opponent's been in the tank this entire turn, so we're about to be even on time, which is a little bit of a relief. I feel like for them to combo kill me, it takes a lot of clicking. I did concede a couple clicks too early in game 1, but maybe they have to think twice about combo killing me now. That said, we did see like 1 million copies of Endurance. There's a chance that they just go for Endurance Beatdown. Another Nadu. I do have a second copy of Pick Your Poison. They're going to sacrifice some lands here. Holy moly. Getting greedy. They must have Court of Calling in hand. 4 minutes on clock. Shuko. What? Oh, brutal. We might just be dead here. Okay. They reveal the One Ring, Urza's Saga. They fetch. Dryad Arbor. This gives them 2 more. Or calling for 2. Yeah, I think we might just be dead here. 3 minutes should be more than enough time. Wow, deck is very powerful. They reveal an island. Delighted Halfling. I think me conceding like 11 cards left in their deck in game 1 might cost me this match. Yeah, this was an impressive turn for sure. Alright, so our opponent has 14 cards left in their deck, about a minute and 15 seconds, so it's looking like me conceding with 11 cards left in their deck is going to in fact cost me this match. That's a real bummer. No way, they actually timed out. All they had to do was cast Thassa's Oracle there. Wow, a gift from the opponent. I will take it. We are now 4-0 with a crazy round here. Match number 5 coming up for the trophy. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? For the trophy, match number 5, we're on the play. Reveal our Gigantha. Keep. Opponent with a mulligan to 4. Play the mountain, strike it rich, pass the turn. Marsh Flats, okay. I think we're just going to play the Ruby Medallion here. I don't want to have the rail get killed. Like, I don't know what this Marsh Flats represents, so let's just not play into it. Shadowy Backstreet, Cloud Shift. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield. So it looks like Orzhov Scam. Gobbler Shrine. 4 cards remain. Alright, we'll play a rail. Let's attempt a Strike It Rich. We'll choose Tails. We've won the flip. Do I want to transform? I'm going to say no. Alright, let's attempt a Desperate Ritual. Rail again. We'll say Tails. We've won the flip. No. Let's do Strike It Rich. Rail once again. This is the 3rd spell of the turn. We'll choose Heads this time. We've lost the flip. Strike It Rich again. This is the 5th. We'll choose Tails. We've lost the flip. Desperate Ritual. This should be the 6th one of the turn. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 5th one. We've won the flip. I think I'm supposed to transform here. Desperate Ritual. Manamorphose. We'll do green-red. Another rail. We'll plus rail. Play rail. Put Gigantha to hand. And then I'm 1 mana short of playing Gigantha, so we'll pass. That was not a bad turn. The opponent just concedes. Wow. Lucky. Blood Moon. Empty the Warrens. We probably want Veil of Summer. So something I used to do, this is like back in the Gift Storm days, is if you think that your opponent's a deck full of removal, you just board out your creatures. So right now we're at 68. I could just board out Channelers and Rails and try to become a slower deck that wins with empty. I'm kind of into that here. Just make their creature removal look foolish. And then I think we probably want Lightning Bolt. I'm less sure about Pick Your Poison. It would stop like Leyline of the Void, but maybe I'm not supposed to care about that. Or maybe Breach isn't good after I mean, Breach is probably still good without Channeler in the deck. Who am I kidding? Let's get rid of Striker Rich. We'll do this. Reveal the Gigantha. All day. Keep, 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 keep. Hopefully I draw like a ritual for my first draw. I mean, we're also hoping for no grief, but we'll see. Gobbler Shrine. And there's the grief. Exiling Orcish Bowmasters. Takes Manamorphose. Grief comes back with Ephemerate. Wow. Goes after Ruby Medallion. Okay, so just going to play Scalding Tarn, pass. I could play the Striker Rich, I'm not going to. I want the ability to go get Commercial District. This might be a game where we need to win with Underworld Breach. They go after the Manamorphose, so they're not afraid of Empty the Warrens. Another Ephemerate, wow. Yeah, devastating. We will fetch. At least for game 3, I will be on the play. Maybe I'll have a Veil of Summer. Commercial District. Get rid of the mountain. Wooded Foothills. We'll play it. Strike It Rich. Pass the turn. So at this point, I think we really are just playing for Underworld Breach. They don't ephemerate, so they must have pest infestation or something like that, because they've shown no respect to empty the warrens here. On the end step, we'll fetch, grab Stomping Ground, Manamorphose. So now they can discard the empty, and they do. Play Stomping Ground, yes. I'm going to put Jegantha to hand. I could have played Striker Rich there as another option because it gives me an extra mana if I draw Underworld Breach. Maybe that would have been better, I'm unsure. Another Grief, exiling Necro Dominance. Spicy. They take the Manamorphose. They have 1 card remaining. We draw a Ritual. We'll play the Ritual. Play Jegantha. I did board in Lightning Bolt, so I have an out to this Grief. I'd have to draw it, but it's there. They play Felia. Whenever it attacks, exile up to 1 other target non-land permanent at the beginning of the next end step. Return that to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter. Is it? Yeah, it's not you control. It's just exile another permanent. Empty the Warrens. We will flashback Striker Rich. Pass the turn. I can't block and I'll go to 4. White Orchid Phantom. So this creature has flying, which is a problem, because that's definitely going to kill me in 2 turns. We can go grab a basic. Lightning Bolt, come on. Mishra's Bauble. So that's going to buy me a turn versus the Grief. Empty the Warrens for 4. I think I should just pass here. I mean, I'm worried about Orcish Bowmasters, but I don't think I'm supposed to Bauble and then have them discard whatever I draw off the Bauble. They're drawing land 3. Alright, this puts me to 2. I'm dead to Bowmasters. I'm dead if I don't draw removal. Draw off the Bauble. Ruby Medallion. Ruby Medallion. Not good enough. Okay. That was tough. They didn't actually seem to have that much removal, but it might have just been on an odd draw. Do I actually want the Rails and Channelers? Alright, so let's board out Striker Rich and the Baubles. But the question is, like, how am I boarding in Rails and Channeler? Like, I only have 5 slots at the moment. Like, am I not supposed to have Lightning Bolt in my deck? And just try to be a better combo deck? Sure, let's try this. Okay. Reveal Jegantha. For the trophy, I will keep. This Blood Moon could be very good for us, but it requires us not being hit by Grief on turn 1 versus the Orzhov Scam deck, so I'm a little skeptical. We'll play turn 1 Dragon's Rage Channeler. Pass the turn. Come on, no Grief. Shadowy Backstreet. Marsh Flats to the graveyard. They're passing. Yes. There's a pause in my draw step. Okay, well, we made it. We did see that Knight of the White Orchid, but they would need double white. I'm just going to get the basic. No need to deal myself extra damage. Desperate Ritual. Surveil. Put the Ritual to the graveyard. Hold up. So, if I go Ruby Medallion, maybe I should go all in. Ruby Medallion. Desperate Ritual, Ruby Medallion, Blood Moon. I think I like this, because then if I find Breach and keep Breach on top, I'm ready to go off next turn. We'll put Rail to the graveyard. Desperate Ritual. Grapeshot to the graveyard. Ruby Medallion. Desperate Ritual to the graveyard. Blood Moon. Stomping Ground to the graveyard. Okay. Swing, swing. You can't discard my hand if I don't have one. They play a mountain. Manamorphose. Let's start by attacking for 3. They go to 14. Let's Manamorphose. I'll make red-green. We get to Surveil. Keep the Empty the Warrens. I'll take an Empty for 4. Red-green. Play the Empty. Get a Surveil again. Stomping Ground to the graveyard. Alright, we have 7 power. They're at 14. 2 turns. Our opponent says GG's. Oh, yes. Trophied. Ruby Storm and Modern trophy. I love it. Let's go. Awesome. So, what do I think of the deck list? It felt really good. I know that Aspiring Spike has his own list that he's been working on that features Past in Flames, because Past in Flames works better with the back half of Rail's minus ability. That said, I think Underworld Breach is just a much more powerful card, and I'd rather just be playing the more broken cards. I am not playing the 2-mana Amulet, where it deals damage for each spell that you cast out of exile. I feel like that card is just really cheeky. Like, it's not actually that good, but it is cute when you win with a card like that, but it's just not that great. I'd rather just play the good card. So that's what we're trying to do here with this deck list. But I really do appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section of the deck list and what you might do differently. I'm just stoked that we trophied. How awesome is that? Once again, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a great day and keep storming. Hey you, yeah you, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested, you can visit theepicstorm.com/donation-decks to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel. You can even join me in a video in the Epic tier. It's totally worth it, I promise. And see ya. Thanks for watching.